It's big dog season, and you can't stay still because you want it. Talk that talk, George. You still scraping your plate because you're hungry. Talk that talk.
What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from television.
But the people on television saying their dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that.
Today, the small city of Springfield, Ohio, found itself at the center of a fraught election year issue: immigration. Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance claims that Haitian migrants in Springfield are, quote, draining social services and causing chaos. He's also repeated a baseless rumor, already debunked by city officials, about pets being abducted and eaten, a story amplified by right-wing media and Elon Musk online.
Over the last 4 years, Springfield has seen its small population grow by over 20%, driven almost entirely by immigrants. William Brangham recently went to Springfield to understand how the city is coping.
The sounds of Haitian Creole carrying across soccer fields, in grocery stores, in restaurants, dishing up the popular Haitian street food pâté codé. It's striking, hearing all this in the heartland of the United States, Springfield, Ohio. Springfield's a small blue-collar city with a familiar story. Much of the factory work left decades ago, and the residents followed. A community of more than 80,000 emptied out to less than 60. That is, until the last few years.
Our churches, we see new people.
In the pews.
Yes, absolutely.
Wes Babian was the pastor at First Baptist Church for almost 20 years.
For years, we've lost people, but you hope somebody else will come and take their place. That hasn't happened here.
Until now.
Because there are folks from Haiti who are coming to church.
Lucas Merzus, who, among his many other jobs, mans the soundboard for Sunday services, is one of those new Haitian members.
Why Springfield?
Of all places. Merzus, with his wife and daughter, were among the first Haitian families to arrive here in 2018.
I got a decent job when I was in Haiti, and then to make a difficult decision to leave, it wasn't easy.
The reason they left is their home country is disintegrating. Protests and increasing violence in the Caribbean nation culminated in the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse in 2021. Since then, the country spiraled. Armed gangs currently control 80% of the capital, Port-au-Prince. Merzus is one of the estimated 731,000 Haitian immigrants now living in the United States.
I got my brothers and sisters. My mother is still living there. I'm always thinking about my family in Haiti.
Because of that violence, the U.S. granted what's called temporary protected status to Haitians in the U.S., giving them limited time permission to live and work here. TPS was then expanded by the Biden administration. Merzus says he came to Springfield for the same reason most Haitians did. He heard that housing was cheap and jobs were plentiful.
It started slowly. We had an application pool that was a little bit different.
People coming to work here.
People looking for jobs. What he's welding here again are welded axle components.
Jamie McGregor is the CEO of McGregor Metal, which makes welded parts for the auto and farm industries. Right now, about 10% of his workforce is Haitian, over 30 employees.
I wish I had 30 more. Our Haitian associates come to work every day. They don't have a drug problem. They'll stay at their machine. They'll achieve their numbers. They are here to work. And so in general, that's a stark difference from what we're used to in our community.
McGregor acknowledges the sudden arrival of so many new immigrants is a challenge on multiple fronts, but he believes this is partly how the industrial Midwest can regrow.
We want more jobs in our community. And in order to fill those jobs, some jobs need to be people who are not originally from here.
There's things in the last 5 years that have really changed and has been a forward improvement for Springfield, but this is taxing the resources of the city. Well, afterwards.
Springfield's mayor, Rob Rue, says he was cautiously optimistic when the first Haitians settled in town. But then their numbers quickly rose. The city estimates 12 to 15,000 Haitians are here now.
The infrastructure of the city, our safety forces, our hospitals, our schools. Springfield is a close community and has a big heart, but at the same point, we've had this influx that has taxed all these services.
The number of students needing English language help has quadrupled in 5 years. Translators at the local health center cost hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And last year was the busiest year on record for the fire department. But it seemed that for the community at large, the increase in immigration and its stresses largely flew under the radar. A lot of that changed last August. It was the very first day of school, and a school bus full of kids was coming down this road. A driver coming in the other direction came around that bend, said he was blinded by the sun. He clipped the bus, and the bus ended up in this ditch.
We begin with breaking news. Right now, multiple law enforcement agencies are on the scene of a deadly school bus crash.
Dozens of children were injured, and 11-year-old Aiden Clark died. When the driver was revealed to be a Haitian immigrant without a U.S. license, things erupted.
The majority of the Haitians here are low-skilled and they're illiterate.
I want to know who's bossing them in, who's responsible for that, and who can stop them from coming.
Our concerns don't have anything to do with racism. They have to do with lack of affordable housing.
For the past few months, Springfield resident and former journalist William Monaghan has been a fixture at City Commission meetings. He helps run a Facebook group that's become a clearinghouse for locals' concerns about the Haitians, where people complain about everything from reckless driving to higher rents.
Do you shop in Springfield? No. Do you drive the streets of Springfield? No. Do you consider that Springfield is your home? No. Are your kids safe in school? No.
They're talking about, I got kicked out of my house because the rent went way up. My insurance has gone way up. I don't feel safe in the stores anymore. With maybe a couple exceptions, it's never a race issue. But they want to make it sound like a racial issue so they can demonize us and ignore our concerns. But these are valid concerns.
I have the same fears that you as mom and dads and grandma and grandpas and aunts and uncles have.
I won't say this is a Haitian crisis, this is an immigrant crisis. It's the fact that we have so many people here and we have a culture clash.
Mayor Rue says reckless driving is an issue. But there has been no uptick in crime related to the immigrant population. But with so many new arrivals, he says, the city needs help bolstering basic infrastructure.
We say we need help basically for translation services and safety forces. That's what we're looking at. Our hospitals need reinforcement.
In the meantime, local nonprofits like St. Vincent de Paul have stepped in. Here, people learn how to apply for jobs and how to navigate the city's computer system.
It's really important that when you file applications with immigration, that you
a translator and a local lawyer helped this woman with her visa application. In a building across town, Vilas Dorsonville runs a support center that helps Haitians integrate into American life. He understands why so many new arrivals into an established community can create conflict.
They have the right to express themselves because we are living in a free speech world, whether it is from the Haitian side who are trying to fight jobs and opportunities, whether it is from the locals who are complaining because too many people are coming here. It's human being. We are expressing ourselves the way we feel, but at the end of the day, we have to fight our way out to live together.
But he says many Haitians would also return home if the violence subsided. Do you hope one day to go back to Haiti?
Yeah, hopefully. I can't wait, hopefully, to go back to Haiti because I'm dreaming Haiti.
Dreaming Haiti, meaning at night while you're dreaming, you're there.
Yeah, I'm there. So still working, still trying to integrate, and then facing with challenges all the time in the US, but I'm also dreaming of my country.
For now, the residents of Springfield, old and new, will continue writing the latest complicated chapter in the story of immigration in America. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm William Brangham in Springfield, Ohio.
If you feel like cats are everywhere in this election, you might not be alone. What began with J.D. Vance, the Ohio Republican senator, and his reference to childless cat ladies has now taken a somewhat fascinating turn to former President Trump's claim that migrants, undocumented immigrants, in Springfield, Ohio, are eating pets. The team at CBS News confirmed has found absolutely no truth in this assertion. Nevertheless, this is what we heard at last night's debate.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
Ohio Republican Governor Mike DeWine joins us now from Columbus. Governor, good to see you. You and I have known each other a long time. You may not remember it, but I do. I covered your first campaign for the United States Senate back in 1992. And Governor, I never thought, yes, it's a while ago, I never thought I would ask you a question like this. Is anyone with undocumented status in Ohio, is any legal citizen resident of Ohio eating dogs or cats illegally?
Well, Major, this is something that came up on the internet, and the internet can be quite crazy sometimes. And look, the mayor, Mayor Rue of Springfield, says no, there's no truth in that. They have no evidence of that at all. So I think we go with what the mayor says. He knows his city.
And there is a case in Dayton of a woman with mental health issues being alleged to have eaten a neighbor's cat, but she lived in Ohio, not an immigrant. And my reason of bringing this up, not only because the former president did it, but you have an immigration situation in Springfield. It's a serious one. It's an interesting one. Population about 58,000, about 15 to 20,000 Haitians under temporary protected status in Springfield. A good number of them, as I understand, Governor, have gone through the application process to get temporary work permits, are working, and in some cases relieving kind of a labor shortage there. But there have been other issues, health, some safety issues that you've tried to bring attention to. Would you not prefer, Governor, a more coherent conversation about immigration in Springfield, Ohio than was heard last night on the debate stage?
Well, Major, I think there's a couple things to be said about what's been going on in Springfield. And you pointed out the numbers. You know, when you put 15,000 people on top in a period of a couple years on top of a population of 58,000, that's not just the normal, increase that we expect to see in regard to immigration. This is a massive number of people coming in. And I think it raises a couple questions. For us in Ohio, we're seeing a couple major challenges to go with this. And you're right, these Haitians came in here to work because there were jobs, and they have filled a lot of jobs. And if you talk to the employers, they've done a very, very good job, and they work very, very hard. But it raises a couple questions. One is a health issue. As you know, Haiti is not a country that has very good health care. And since the assassination of the president several years ago, the doctors who were there, most of them have already left. So you've got people coming in from a country that don't really have good health care. And so it raises issues about getting them vaccinated, getting their children vaccinated. So it's put a real pressure on primary care. And so what we announced yesterday was, we're going to try to take some federal dollars if they're eligible. If they're not, we're going to have to spend it ourselves and put about $2.5 million in, to assist the local community to expand that primary health care. The other problem is driving. Again, Haiti is not a country that many people don't drive at all. There aren't that many cars per capita. and people who do drive, the laws in Haiti are very, very different than they are in the United States. My wife, friend, I've been in Haiti a number of times, and driving is just very, very different. So the challenge is to get driver's training for these individuals, so that when they do go on the road, they will be safe. We have a law in Ohio that says that once you turn 18, or if you're over 18, you can get a driver's license in the state. You have to pass a test, but you don't have to have any driver's training, which is kind of a big loophole in our law, and it's a real problem.
Do you worry at all, Governor, that immigrant community could be under greater jeopardy because of scapegoating language like the nation heard last night?
I think as I talk to the people in Springfield, they're concerned about the issues that I just talked about. But they will tell me these Haitians are working very hard. They're trying to provide for their families. But what the people of Springfield are saying is it's just been so many people come in. It's not what we normally would expect. And frankly, Major, I think the federal government has to start looking at places like this and treat it like you would a natural disaster. If we have a natural disaster in Ohio, we call the federal government, they come in and they do an assessment. And if they think that we don't have the resources in the community or the state to take care of that, then there is help provided. I think we need something like that in regard to when we have real big surges like we've seen in Springfield of immigrants coming in over a relatively short period of time.
Broadly
That's really
speaking,
what we should have. We should have that kind of help from the federal government.
Broadly speaking, Governor, who won last night's debate?
Well, I'm not going to get into that. Everybody has their own opinion as they watched it. I think that, look, I think the President Trump, if you look at the issues, the majority of people are going to agree with President Trump on issues more than they are with Vice President Harris. And I think the more he can stick to those issues and talk about his vision for this country, whether it's in the economy, whether it's protecting the border, whether it's national defense, I think the better off that he is going to be as he goes forward. We're obviously in a very close race. Ohio, it's not close. President Trump is going to win Ohio by a pretty good margin. And what we hope, of course, those of us who are Republican rooting for Bernie Moreno to win that race as well for the United States Senate.
And it's a little hard to find, you mentioned the internet a moment, Governor, where you are exactly on former President Trump. Are you a full-throated endorsee of former President Trump's re-election to the White House?
I've always said, look, I said months and months ago before it was even determined who the nominee would be, I said, look, I'm a Republican. I support the Republican nominee for president, so I certainly support President Trump.
Today is Friday, September 13th. The year is 2024. Today was a long day. I thought it was going to be the day. Well, okay, let's go back. Today is Friday the 13th. So it kind of snuck up on me. And as you know, I kind of got some superstitions running through my blood. I had a superstitious daddy, a religious mom, so I kind of fall right in the middle. I'm not superstitious, I ain't religious. But I don't like to do much on Friday the 13th, just for, who knows. But I was going to sleep in this morning. I made plans to sleep in. I was watching my favorite TV shows lined up. I was going to lay in bed and rest this morning. And then right at about 8:30, I got a phone call and it said AT&T. So I looked at my phone. I said, AT&T, and I answered it. And the guy was like, hey, I'm the AT&T technician. I'm here to install your cable TV thing. I'm thinking, oh, Lord, I forgot I was doing that shit. I thought they were on strike. So I said, he said, I'll be there in 15 minutes. I got up out of bed, got dressed, threw something on. And literally, he was here, y'all, all day long trying to get this AT&T fiber thing work. So I don't know what it was. It still ain't working. But he said it's working, but I can't get it to work. But he was literally here all day. A black guy from Barbados. He's been here since the United States since he was 16 years of age. I think he moved here in 1988 or 1989. He worked his ass off, running from throughout this whole house. And it's weird when people walk into this house, and as soon as they walk through the front door, they look and they say, he was, I was expecting your home to look like this. And I was like, He's just looking around like, wow, The pictures, I mean, this is an older house. When you walk into it, because I took all the walls out, the house, when you're in person, it looks like a massive space. And it probably is, because a big space for most people. But he was walking around the house. He was like, "You must gotta love living here." He was like, "My God, this is just a beautiful home. Yeah, I want to sell this house. You want to buy it? Work it out." Literally, he was here all day. So in the meanwhile, I was looking at these videos about Donald Trump and the despicable stuff that he said about these Haitian people living in Springfield, Ohio. Y'all, the United States of America is based upon people coming here. The economy from since the days of slavery to 2024, this economy is based upon immigrants migrating to this country, whether you like it or not. Some of us didn't migrate here on our own. But in order for this country to continue to grow and prosper, it has to have immigration. There is no way around it. No way around it. The vast majority of Americans, though, don't understand this, including Donald Dumbass Trump. He don't get it. They seem to think that we can grow enough American citizens here in this country some type of miraculous way. Immigrants have been coming to this country for centuries. This country's growth, the prosperity of this country, is based upon people coming here for jobs, education, to live the American dream, which for some people turns into an American nightmare. So when you hear people like Donald Trump and other various people attacking immigrants, they don't understand the nature of this country. But Donald Trump's father himself was an immigrant here. His wives were immigrants. I'm like, okay, does he not understand he's the pot calling the kettle black? And then to attack these Haitians, who are hardworking people, as you saw in that news report. But I'm learning that no matter what someone tells you, all are going to believe the most negative, horrible stuff about people and about just negative, crazy shit, period. Springfield, Ohio is a better place because of those immigrants moving there to work. They had vacant houses that sit there. There are some long articles I've read about Springfield, Ohio, doing research. There were houses that literally sat there vacant for decades. Decades. As the workforce dwindled and factories left. And since these immigrants have moved in the past few years, they've purchased homes, or they're renting homes and living in homes, and working jobs that they couldn't find no workers for. I've learned some white folks don't complain, period. Unless they're benefiting from this. A lot of white folks don't like to see this country change. They don't want to see it change because in their mind it is white America. They need t-shirts saying "Make America White Again" because basically that's what they want. But that's not going to happen, y'all. It can't. That ship has sailed, literally. So, but when I hear other black people making comments about immigrants, it just goes to show you how stupid they are. I know for a fact I would not have gotten this house renovated, period, if it was not for the immigrants who came in here and did the work on this house. I'd still be up here scuffling around trying to find people to do work. Because let me tell y'all something, I couldn't find nobody. Unless I was going to pay an arm and a leg to some jack-legged people who came in here. Every person who worked on this home was an immigrant. Every single one of them. And not just my house. Thousands of houses, millions of homes, buildings, apartments, houses. Construction industry is basically immigrants at this day and age. No, they're not taking black people jobs because you got other black folks doing jobs on YouTube. Look around you like my black ass. Black folks I'm doing a completely different, the type of jobs that my uncles had, none of my cousins are doing any of that type of work. None of the black family, nobody in my family is doing the type of jobs my father and uncles had on my mother's and father's side of the family. Ain't nobody doing that mess no more. Is the steel mill still open in Gary? Yeah, it is. Oh, you know what? I do have a cousin working there at the U.S. Steel Mill. I do have one. I sure do. And I forgot I forgot he told me he worked for the U.S. Steel Mill. He's been working there. But anyway, I need to get back to Gary. I went there to my uncle's funeral. I said I wanted to go back when the weather was nicer. And I was not very well when I went there. I was sick and I thought I had COVID. And when I was there for my uncle's funeral, so I couldn't really hang around. It's disheartening the way people are attacking these immigrants. People who left the country, literally ran for their lives. And we have a city here called Clarkston, and I knew for years about all these immigrants coming to Clarkston from all over the world, mainly Africa. And I remember getting clothes. I would go through my closet and pack them up and take them over there to give to these people. There's a place on Ponce that you can take stuff and give them to, and I would sporadically go through my closet and take all this stuff over there and just give it to them. They were nicely, gently worn clothes. But over the years, I knew Clarkston had this large group of people literally showing up in America with nothing. Nothing. And the struggle, if y'all know what it's like and you're not in America to have nothing, to get here and have nothing, not even know the language, not even know where you are, know nothing about the food, nothing about the culture, and try to survive. I can imagine what it was like for those people in Clarkston. I can imagine what it was like for those people in Springfield, Ohio. In many instances, there's someplace they don't want to be. They'd rather be at home. But unfortunately, this is their new home. And I think those people should be welcomed to their new homes. And some of us are so ungrateful for, like this man was from Barbados today. And he talked about the little island he was from. I've never been to Barbados yet. It's on my bucket list. And he said he wished he had a home like this for his family. I mean, I was about my mom, and he said, man, and he's a little bit younger than me. And AT&T was on strike. He said, man, I just couldn't afford to go on strike because all my money goes back on. I send so much money back to my family, I just can't afford to be out there on strike. And I said, okay, I get it. I understand. I'm grateful that I have a nice home, that I'm not running from some war going on, that there's, that people are not being burned alive right outside my door like what's going on in Haiti. Those Haitians are going through do y'all know what's going on in Haiti? Have you all educated yourselves what's going on in that country? This is why, once again, I tend to stick to myself and do my thing because a lot of y'all are ignorant as hell, and I can't tolerate the ignorance. I just can't. If anybody thought Donald Trump, with the ignorant shit that came out of his damn mouth, the lies that this man is running around and saying, and y'all still support this son of a bitch. Still y'all support this ignorant motherfucker. Still. I don't even know what to say. Don't know what to say. It's shocking. It is shocking. So I don't think people are going to be happy in this country until we look like Haiti, where we're shooting and killing each other, fighting in the streets with a civil war going on. It seems like it seems like this is where this country is headed. With Donald Trump. January 6th should have opened everybody's eyes. He showed y'all who he really was and what's going on in his head. And y'all still don't see it. Y'all still blind to it. Well, I guess we'll find out. When, there's a war in the streets caused by Donald Trump and his crazy followers. because it seems like that's what they're hell-bent on doing. They're hell-bent on causing chaos and confusion, which could lead to some horrible things in this country. But y'all support this fool. You support him when you spread lies about what's going on in Ohio there. You know, you post pictures and videos knowing that this stuff is fake and false, not real. Nothing to do with that city, but you post it any damn way. Y'all got, I know there's a great deal of mental illness in the United States of America, but we really see it now. But anyway, this is going to be a short video. I'm tired. I've had a long day. I thought today was going to, I ain't even had a shower today because literally I was with this man all day holding ladders and doing all kinds of shit, y'all. It was crazy. I said, okay. They should have said he didn't have nobody to help him. Everybody else on strike, so I guess he said, shit, I'm going to go in. And then it still ain't working. We went through all that to get this shit set up. It ain't working. Maybe I was gonna try it again in the morning. I'm tired. I didn't put that password in 10,000 times. And download that. I didn't get this. None of this shit working. So I had to call in the morning and just see because I'm tired. I even get the furniture still pulled away from the wall where he was working at. I really don't care. I'm like, I'll deal with that shit tomorrow. I just took the dogs out because they were in their cages all day because we were mainly in the basement working down there doing these wiring and these wires. It's a long story. But anyway, make sure y'all fact checking the stuff that Donald Trump is running around and saying his lying ass and that damn his vice president. They just too ignorant for me. But I'm finding that the only people supporting them are a bunch of ignorant ass people. You might be one of them. Everybody I know that's supporting Donald Trump is the most ignorant, dumbest people I've ever met in my entire life. Anyway, today is Friday, it is September 13th, the year is 2024. I'm going to take a shower, be in bed while I finally watch some TV. It's 8 o'clock now. A long Friday the 13th. Well, at least no one was harmed today. No dogs or kittens were eaten today in America. I'm out of here. Bye.